This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. It's always a pleasure. I saw you coming from the distance, Gad. I feel like I know what you're getting out of your bag. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. Lovely day, and looking forward to the press conference today. And thankfully, I'm really pleased that the event's been rescued. I'm just going to have a little vape while we're chatting, as we do.
This is flipping all over the place.
Well, that's no change there.
There we are, but we're rolling. Look, let's talk about it. The event was saved. We caught up briefly after Dillian Whyte's announcement of the failed test. There are some people, and they're always going to be criticising, but Robert Helenius on a couple of days' notice, what do you make of it?
There's always jeopardy. Helenius has beaten, look, this is 10 years ago, but Helenius has beaten 3 former world champions. They weren't world champions at the time. Yes, he was knocked out in a round by Deontay Wilder last October, I think it was, by a counter hook. He's 6'9", he's 39, he's been around the block, he knows his way around the ring. He's quite an aggressive fighter. He's a little bit chinny. Maybe people will describe Joshua as a little bit chinny as well, but we don't know about that. I mean, I think there's relief all around that the event's been salvaged. I think they scrambled really well. I think there were a number of names in the offing. I think they've come up with the right opponent. You have to applaud Anthony Joshua for taking it. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see. We're just before we go into the press conference right now. It'll be interesting to see what frame of mind Helenius in. He fought in a castle a few days ago, didn't he? But it was a knockabout for him. It wasn't a big fight. So he's been in camp. That's good. Look, there is jeopardy every time Joshua fights. I'm hoping that Joshua is front foot forward in this fight and gets it done in 5 rounds or less. And actually shows his aggression, gets his big rangefinder in his jab and gets that booming right hand going, and is allowed off the leash in this fight. I think the relief will be there for the 14 other boxers on the card. Yep. I spoke to Robert Smith yesterday on our Boxing Social Fight Club show. He said a lot of work's been going on in the background. Spoke to Eddie Hearn yesterday after his round 2 with Simon Jordan on TalkSport. And he's really pleased that the event's going ahead. I think the thing is, with an Anthony Joshua fight, when it gets cancelled, the whole industry gets affected. Yeah. So here we are all today gathering at Pan Pacific. Probably shouldn't mention that straight away, but this won't go out till after the conference, and it'll be a big press conference. You have to applaud Joshua for wanting to keep the fight on. If he loses, then, and anyone can lose in a heavyweight fight, anyone can lose in a fight. He may regret taking it, but I think he was behind the scenes desperate to fight, and good on him.
Just for sort of naysayers out there and people online saying, why isn't it a Ruiz, why isn't it a Hrgovic, why isn't it a Dempsey McKean, a Joseph Parker? Probably easier said than done on the time that they had to work with, the purses that people demand. Agit Kabayel, we know, asked for double than what he was scheduled to make 8 weeks ago when they first proposed the fight to him. Not always as easy as it seems on the eye, right?
Well, the negotiation will have been a bit of a poker game. As you say, Agit Kabayel has obviously priced himself out. May regret that now. Yeah. But Helenius obviously was easier to work with. We know that that he's going to bring it, and good luck to him. He'll roll the dice on Saturday night. And look, there's Andy Ruiz on a week's notice. Joshua wouldn't have taken. I don't know necessarily if he'd have taken that fight. Filip Hrgovic, number 1 IBF mandatory challenger, may not have wanted to take that fight anyway. What you've got to remember is Joshua's been preparing for 10 weeks or for 3 months mentally for a Dillian Whyte fight. He knows he's been in with him before, he knows him, he's been in with him twice. So stylistically he was looking at something completely different. So, I mean, I'm fascinated by that. What they do now stylistically in terms of studying Helenius, what he does, how Joshua will do that with Derek James over these few days, what tactics they employ. Will Helenius sit back, for example, and try and give Joshua the yips? Will he move and stay out of the way rather than come forward? You know, he could play all kinds of games. He's on a win-win. You know, this is a no-win situation for Anthony Joshua. You're expecting him to knock Helenius out early. If he goes the distance, people won't be happy. I hope he gets the win on Saturday night. But you know, it's a fair fight. You know, two men, the gloves. Helenius is fit. You can't expect Joshua on 5 days' notice at this elite level to fight an Andy Ruiz, a Flip Hrgovic, a Martin Bakole. I mean, I'd love to have seen those fights. I mean, of course I would have. I mean, I'd love to see Fury and Joshua on Saturday night. You know, it would have been funny if Fury had turned up and said, no, let's do it Saturday night. I'll do it on 5 days' notice. I'm surprised we didn't get a little video of that this week.
I was as well, actually. I was thinking, at what moment are we going to see a Saturday night call-out?
Yeah, I was going to ring Fury and say, you know, where's the call-out for Joshua on Saturday night? Because it would be a great thing to see. But look, there's no other sport like boxing. I think it'll still be a rollicking atmosphere in there on Saturday night. I'm really pleased DAZN have made it a regular scheduled event, not pay-per-view. I think that's significant as well. And, you know, it's a good card. I mean, I don't really know what Anthony Joshua... I don't know what Derek Chisora, Gerald Washington is on the card. It's like it's like a veterans knockabout, isn't it? You know, but I'm picking Chisora to win that late, and I'm also picking Hrgovic to stop Dempsey McKean late. What are you going in those two?
I will not be making a prediction, Gareth, as I can't really.
Oh,
maybe one day I'll get onto the level. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Why don't you make predictions then?
Is it
interviewing them? Oh, I know.
And you know, precisely.
No, but. That's what you have to separate, not who you want to win, but who you think will win, and have an honest opinion about it. You know.
We'll get there. I'm learning off you, Gareth. I'm still a baby face in the industry. Lastly, I know. Lastly, from me, Dillian Whyte. We talk about drugs in boxing. You know, it's come up once again here. There's a lot of. I spoke to Eddie yesterday. He said that the legal team have been in touch. No one can make a comment on it. Similar as to when the Conor Benn situation happened. He's got a long fight ahead of him.
Well, we don't know yet whether it's a long fight or a short fight. We're all speculating. We don't know what the substance is. It's not public yet. You know, I mean, it's not a nice situation for Dillian Whyte because he's proclaiming his innocence. You have to allow people to make their case. He won't be happy about it. You know, we haven't, apart from his statement last Friday, I don't think we've heard from him. I've tried to reach out and send him a message. I wanted to get him on Talk Sport on Saturday night to explain his side of it. He's obviously going to be very unhappy and very down about it. He's facing the fact that, you know, he took a ban in 2012 for 2 years by mistakenly buying an over-the-counter supplement. He admitted to that at the time, but he was exonerated in that 2019 case, if you recall, before Oscar Rivas had the hearing on the morning of the fight. So very difficult for him. You know, I'm not going to stand here and denigrate him, but you know, whatever's happened. If something's in his body, he's got to prove how it got there, why it got there.
Gareth A Davies, always a pleasure, my friend. We will see you throughout the day and catch up probably again on Friday.